Pakistani military is up for sale. Name your price and the generals will do your bidding. This is an open secret, but tonight we'll tell you about the scale of corruption. It is staggering even by Pakistan standards. What's worse, it involves a self-proclaimed beacon of democracy and rectitude, the United States of America. Recently, Pakistan was given an IMF bailout. You already know that. But here's something you probably don't. Pakistan got the bailout in exchange for arms and ammunition for Ukraine. In other words, bombs for bailout, that was the deal, brokered by America and executed by the International Monetary Fund, the IMF. So much for upholding democratic institutions and the rule of law. Pakistan needed money to survive. Ukraine needed weapons to survive. The United States made the best of a messy situation. In a backroom deal, they facilitated the IMF loan. Tonight, we'll tell you how. The story begins in May 2023. There was a meeting in Washington, D.C. at the U.S. State Department. Two diplomats met, Masood Khan, Pakistan's ambassador to the U.S., and Donald Lu, U.S. Assistant Secretary of State. On the agenda was Pakistan's IMF bailout. Islamabad was struggling to secure it. This meeting changed the picture. Lu told Khan that Washington has cleared a payment of about $900 million. What was it for? Munition supplies for Ukraine. Pakistan had started sending these supplies last year and the US was paying for them. What kind of supplies were these? Mostly artillery shells. In the last 1 year, Ukraine has got sizable military aid, but it still uses Soviet-era weapons. And Soviet weapons need Soviet shells. Pakistan is one of the few countries that makes them. Kiev needed the supply and Washington helped secure it. How is this linked to the IMF bailout? Let me explain that. The IMF had set tough conditions for a bailout. They centered around two issues, debt and foreign investment. Pakistan fell short of the IMF's targets. Islamabad needed to show a better balance sheet, one where it had fewer liabilities and better reserves. Meaning Pakistan needed more cash. And the US came to the rescue. They offered the Ukraine deal. Pakistan accepted. America paid for it. And this helped Islamabad fill the gaps in its budget. And I'm not the one saying this. This comes from Assistant Secretary Lu. This is what he told Masood Khan when the two met in Washington. This entire deal was done in secret. Both the US and Pakistan deny it. But here's a report that says America facilitated the IMF bailout. It says the US spoke to the IMF. It told the agency about the payments it had made, the payments for munitions for Ukraine. And we know what followed. Pakistan got what it wanted. The diplomats met in the month of May. The bailout was announced in the month of June. But there's more to it. This story also involves Imran Khan. You may remember where he was when Russia invaded Ukraine. Imran Khan was in Moscow. He was there for bilateral talks with Vladimir Putin. Weeks later, he praised India's foreign policy. He said Pakistan too should have an independent foreign policy. Listen to this.
India is our next door neighbor. I appreciate India. They have always pursued an independent foreign policy. Today, India is a Quad ally, yet India is importing oil from Russia.
Soon after that, Imran Khan was pushed out of power. He blamed the US for his ouster, and he based this claim on a cipher. Imran Khan said a senior US official met with a Pakistani diplomat and he told him, and I'm quoting, all would be forgiven if Imran Khan is ousted. Do you know who this American official was? The same Donald Lu, US Assistant Secretary of State, the man who got the IMF bailout for Pakistan. Now try to connect the dots. What do you see? Did the Pakistan army oust Imran Khan to keep the Americans happy? Did the US tip the balance of Pakistan's already skewed democratic process? If they did, it won't be a first. America has a history of buying loyalty, especially in Pakistan. From 2002 to 2008, the US paid over $6 billion to Rawalpindi. This was direct support to the Pakistani military. And how did Rawalpindi respond? By providing sanctuary to Osama bin Laden, the mastermind of the 9/11 attack. One would think the Americans would have learned from the past. Evidently, they haven't. And they don't shy away from using international agencies as instruments of power play.